Welcome everyone to this month's monthly musing. I'm really grateful that we have this moment to drop in together and to feel what's moving through our field, what's moving through me, what's moving through you. We are in a very strong time. At least I've been feeling this. I've actually been going through a bit of a wobble internally and really leaning into my embodiment to support me to feel and find my way through. For me, it has been a time of feeling the energy really rising and changing around me. And part of that, I think, has to do with the equinox and everything that's happening astrologically. Like in a very simple way, we are arriving fully with all of us into this age of Aquarius that began, the spiral began in the 60s. Okay? And it's returning again to take another step of this Aquarius energy for us, this movement into the new. And we can remember that Aquarius has this watery energy to it, okay? So in some ways I've been feeling the elements a little bit more and leaning into that fluidity of water to help us to make our way through this transition. It's not that it's all going to happen at once. It's kind of a longer timeline, I think. We can focus on the place of embodiment to hold us right now. It's almost like if we are out of our bodies, we are going to suffer more. And if we are in our bodies, we're going to find the connection, the information, the connection to self, and the stability to be present with all that is moving in our lives and all that is being asked of us in our lives. So let's just break that down for a minute together, okay? So, embodiment as connection. I want us to become aware for a moment of how much of our day we are operating in a thinking space. We are oriented through our mind. We are in one channel of our being, and the rest is kind of on autopilot. And I've been really practicing something very basic lately, but it's really been helpful, and I want to share it with you. It's a little practice that I do. I do it when I'm walking. I do it when I'm sitting in meetings on the computer. I do it when I'm doing the dishes. And I do it when I'm dancing. Okay? It's practicing a kind of listening. A listening that includes the body. And the way that I do that is by having an awareness of my body, extending my listening into the field of my body so that I have an awareness of myself that includes my body. You can do it right here while I'm saying these words to you. We are cultivating a listening that is including our body. We are experiencing that through an awareness of the body. Yeah, there you go. You can feel that right there. And this is a state of being that we can anchor into. It is an awareness that we can strengthen inside of ourselves. And inside of this very simple withholding of ourselves, we are turning on the other channels of our being, the other channels that are possible through the body. Okay, so this is a very important piece of embodiment. Ultimately, the highest form of embodiment is when all the layers of our body are in congruence, in unity, in harmony together. Our mental, our emotional, our physical, our energetic, and our spiritual. When those layers of ourselves are together, okay? Because we can recognize that often they're not. Often we're thinking one thing, feeling one thing, and doing yet a third. And we are not feeling the resource of spirit. Okay? So, coming back to embodiment as information. So I spoke earlier about how I'm struggling. And one of the main things that I am looking forward to in this moment is that I know I am going to be dancing for 5 days in a row in the movement map. It's an experience that I hope all of you will take at some point in your life to receive. There are many people in Azul who feel like this is their favorite program. Okay? It's where we move through the whole spiral map of Azul. And the reason why I'm so grateful that I get to do it this weekend and these next 5 days is that I know it's going to support me to feel what's actually happening right now in a deeper way. Because the truth is that I don't get that information in my regular daily dance. Okay, I don't get that information unless I create a very sacred container and the time to really listen and a tool to listen with. Okay, so for me, that comes through my body, through a longer container of movement, and in this moment specifically through utilizing the intelligence and the technology of the Azul spiral, okay, which is the map of Azul that is mapped through a spiral. You in the portal are going through pieces of this, and you are gaining understanding and embodied intelligence of it now. Okay? And the next step will be to receive it all in one moment. I know that for me, it's going to help me to really feel what's happening for me and for us right now. Okay? Embodiment as information. The space that is created where the information can arrive into. This is what happens when we dance. This is specifically what happens when we are using movement as the vehicle, as the technology to connect in the way that we do, in the movement that we do, where we're listening intimately through the movement. We are allowing the body and the intelligence to move, to feel that watery nature, to stir and to circulate the waters of our being so that that information rises into consciousness for us. Okay? So embodiment is a connection to information. It's also a deep connection to a sense of self, to a felt sense of self. This is what we cultivated a moment ago together. This awareness of ourselves that includes the body. We encounter self in this reality through the body. So when we are disconnected from the body, we are disconnected from self. And this is painful. This is one of our modern, Western, well, maybe even more than Western, universal human conditions of this moment. It's why I want to wrap embodiment and embodied awakening around the whole planet, into each and every body that is living in consciousness today, so that we can rise and know ourselves. Because when we remember and when we know, there is no way that we could treat each other as we do. Last piece of embodiment. Because this one is helpful, I think, to being in the world as it is right now, being in this process of transformation as we are now. Embodiment as stability. Oh, I can just feel that so well in my body right now. It just calls me home in. It's a reflection of all the information being inside of us, not outside, but inside of us. Everything we need, our guidance, our knowing, everything being inside of us. So when we call ourselves in and we allow embodiment to be a stabilizer in our field, then we are able to deal with everything around us as it rocks and changes. And we can return to that center point inside. For a moment, feel that center point right in the center of your belly, right here with me. It's a deep one. It's the one that anchors us down towards the earth. And then for a moment, feel rise into your heart. And feel how that just connects us right now through this field. Through our humanity. And when these center points are alive in us, they hold us. So, embodiment as stabilizer. I want to share with you a short meditation. You know, one of the things that I've been loving about having the portal and about having our daily practice and these 10-minute meditations that we're doing together. They're so rich and they're so powerful to do each day as this reminder, each day to call us in and to call us home and to awaken that connection in us, yes? And it's sparked in me this addition of these little 1 minute or 5 minute meditations that I do spontaneously now throughout my day. And I think they're becoming a part of these monthly musings. So I have another one for us in this moment that has to do with that awareness. And it has to do with the elemental support of release in particular. because so often we are moving through our day and we are stacking experiences and energy inside of us, and we need a moment to release and to let go. And that restores us to center. It restores us to being in fluidity and in the flow with energy. So we're going to play with a very quick versions of release. So join me. Welcome everyone to my home, to my view, to this beautiful earth of a hill that I see every day, and to the blue sky that we are blessed with in Ibiza. We're going to begin, as we always do, listening, making that connection to the body, cultivating that awareness that includes the body. And from that listening, from that connection, giving our attention down to our feet. This is a release meditation, right? This is the elements and release. The elements and release to restore quickly, flow. So we're leaning into the feet and to the earth to feel and connect to the earth of my body, the support of my feet. I can feel my feet getting some lift to them, making that connection. Beautiful. And let's shift our attention to the belly and to the possibility of a watery release. Coming through the belly. Yes. Rising to the rest of the body. This water. But through the belly. And feeling that watery release. Beautiful. And shifting into the heart to connect heart and hands and the fire working just heart, hands. Of course, they're connected to everything below, but we just feel the heart and the hands carrying the fire. Woo! Oh. Ooh, I could go on for a long time with that one. And coming down into the air and beginning to breathe with the whole body. Working with the air and our breath and the fullness of the body. The fullness. Feel the air, your release, your airy release. Beautiful, beautiful. And last one, the ether. The ether and the space. I can feel my body wanting to go slow. You follow your body. I'm going to allow mine to go slow, to feel and to tune in to the field of the body. The ether is what connects us to the stars, to the cosmos, through the body. Feel the body as space, the release of ether. And gently slowing down and gently coming all the way in, all the way in. Register for a moment how you feel in your body, the aliveness that is restored. Quick fix in the day. Use one of them, use all of them. Sometimes I just tune in, listen, and feel which one is present. And then I use it to release and restore. Here's to embodiment, to your embodiment, to our embodiment. Let's continue together.